Trump's #2 at the Justice Department just said on CNN he wants to use anti-mafia laws to throw women in jail for heckling Trump in a restaurant in D.C. this week. Watch this clip.
As you know, RICO has been used to go after Al-Qaeda, MS-13, the Gambino family. How would something like that protest fall under a RICO charge?
That's not what we use RICO for only. RICO is available to all kinds of organizations committing crimes and committing wrongful acts.
First point. Committing crimes or committing wrongful acts. In other words, we're going to throw anti-mafia laws at people, not just who commit crimes, but who do things that we think are wrong, but aren't crimes. And that's an interesting legal standard.
So is it, again, sheer happenstance that individuals show up at a restaurant where the president is trying to enjoy dinner in Washington, D.C., and accost him with vile words and vile anger and
So now he's no longer accusing the women of violence. He's accusing them of vile anger and vile language. Not a crime.
Meanwhile, he's simply trying to have dinner. Does it mean it's just completely random that they showed up? Maybe, but to the extent that it's part of an organized effort to inflict harm and terror and damage to the United States, there's potential investigations there.
Wait, what? Harm and terror to the United States because somebody heckled Trump in a restaurant over dinner? What are these people even talking about?
But were those women in the restaurant inflicting harm or terror or damage by protesting the president of the United States? I mean, they were just shouting, basically, in his vicinity.
I mean, repeat what you just said. I mean, honestly, so you're asking whether there's damage done by 4 individuals screaming and yelling at the president of our United States while he's trying to have dinner.
So now he's dropped the legal standard entirely, and he's simply saying, our president got yelled at. Our president. How dare you even ask if that's damaging to the United States? Yeah, honey, it's not. It's called freedom of speech.
That can't be a serious question. That cannot be a serious question. I mean, it's true that there's a difference between shouting and committing an assassination,
There were supporters outside
which is what
as
happened
well.
to Charlie. Well, it depends. There's nothing wrong with peaceful protests, and nobody has ever said so.
Nobody except you in this very interview, nobody except Donald Trump, who called for the women to be thrown in jail, nobody other than the Attorney General, who said that hate speech should get you jailed, or J.D. Vance, who said the same thing. Otherwise, nobody's talking about throwing anybody in jail for doing things that are peaceful.
But what he's talking about, and what the administration is talking about, is organized efforts by individuals who are not present at the protests, but they're funding these protests.
Wait a minute. So now it's illegal to organize protests, to fund them against the President of the United States? That's what he's saying now. Oh, it's not just protesting. They were organized. Yes, so what?
And they're not protests. They're inflicting damage and harm and actually assaulting officers. They're damaging vehicles.
Actually, no. We're talking about 4 women in a restaurant who yelled at Trump before he had dinner. They didn't assault anybody. Let me just reiterate, he's the #2 guy at the Department of Justice. Just let that sink in.